All right, how I would get to £10,000 or dollars, whatever you want to call it, within 30 days. I have no script for this video, and I think that's the best way because I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to fabricate and overthink things. I'm just going to show you what's truly in my mind and my brain. What qualifies me to be able to teach you this? I've done it a load of times, I've helped people do it, so I believe I can help you to do it. All right, cool, let's go without further ado. So, I want to make £10,000 in 30 days. First things first, I need a product, and the product, I'm gonna do it at £1,000. All right. So this is for fitness, a fitness program. But if you don't have a fitness program, it doesn't matter. It could be whatever it is. I'm generally looking to do a product for £1,000. Right? Why £1,000? Because what I've kind of gauged and understand is that you know it's a middle ground number. Okay, when you go over £1,000, 2,000, 3,000, this is something that could purchase a car. This is something that could, it could do a lot. Let's be honest, it could even get you a deposit on a really bad property somewhere, right? But when you're talking about £1,000, people spend £1,000 sometimes on clothes, on little holidays, stuff like that, right? So it's more easier to lose or part way with. Okay, so £1,000 will be the offer, and then obviously you can go both ways. You can have a downsell of that's like 500, 700, or whatever, right? If you're giving someone some sort of discount, and you can have an upsell of like 1,500, 1,700. Okay, so you got both ways. So with our products, you want to have some sort of fluidity. You don't have to be like it's straight 1,000. I'm not taking any less anymore. You don't have to do it like that. Okay, so I've got my product for £1,000. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my network and listen. This is where mindset kicks in. Shout out my book that's coming soon, which is called Your First Year. It's all about like the mindset shifts, the what you got to really think and build and reprogram your brain in a way of if you want to really be successful in your first year. So I think a lot of it's mindset. Now look, my phone is actually what I'm using to record this video. On that phone, there's probably hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of networks and contacts. And the funny thing is, most of you have that too, but you just doubt yourself. You don't believe it. Now, one of the biggest things that helped me when I hit my first 10K, it was 12.5K in 30 days, was just literally picking up my phone book and calling old clients. Because if you're even, let's say, for example, you're a PT, you would have coached clients without realizing who are maybe like lawyers or work in big firms or have decent positions so they can get hold of £1,000, right? Everybody knows a couple people that and look, it is the way it is. Some people have money, some people don't have money, all right, but everyone knows a bunch of both. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be looking at getting into my network. Now you're going to ask me how I would approach my network. I'm going to approach my network. Generally the first point of action is calls, and this is why I wanted to do this without a script, because it's going to make me be honest and real. All right. So I would call people, literally pick up the phone and call people. A lot of people get scared when it with the idea of calling people and stuff like that, right? I get it. It feels like you're asking, it feels like you're begging and stuff like that. But how you approach calling people in your phone book or wherever or lead is that you want to come in the line of just being inquisitive. Okay. I think the main thing people fear is I don't want to ask for nothing. Well, what you need to position it as is that you're looking for people who need your help. You get it? You're looking for people who need your help. That's how you position it and switch it in your brain so that you don't feel like you're begging or hounding people to hand you over money, right? You're not mugging anyone. So you make a list, and that's always the best way to do it. So I would make a big lead list. I'll do this on my phone, sorry, on a piece of paper, or I'll do it on a Microsoft Word document or a Google Sheets document, and I'll just literally make a list of all the names. I won't put like waste time by copying over the numbers because I'm just gonna call them off my phone anyway. But I'll make a list of all the names of all the people, and I'll say like old clients, family members and friends, right? Family members and friends, flipping, acquaintances, people I've met from different things, whatever. So I'll just make a list of all these different people, right? And then I'm just going to do a selective process to find the people who are most likely to be leads. So that's going to come from like old clients and family and friends and maybe a few acquaintances I've met along the way. So these are people that maybe I see visibly are quite overweight or who have mentioned something to do with fitness to me before, or maybe I coached them when they was on a gym floor, it didn't do too well. So that's how I'm gonna like find these maybe 10 to 20 people, maybe even more, who I feel could potentially use this program, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call them. So let's say I know I'm gonna find 30 people from that. Yeah. I'm gonna call those 30 people. Now, here's the trick. I'm not gonna call them and sell my program on the phone, because again, this is where you may be tripping up. I'm not gonna do that. That's messed up. What I'm gonna do is just find out. I'm like, hey, how you doing? It's Michael. They'll be like, whoever their name is, and I'm gonna say, look, like, how you getting on? I thought about you the other day, just wondering how you're getting on with your fitness journey. So that's it. I'm going to ask them how they're getting on. Now, there's two ways. It's like a fork in the road here, right? Very simple. Either they are doing amazing, they just smashed the PB in the gym, they're doing really good, they're happy, and that's absolutely great. Or they are struggling, they still haven't hit their goal. Maybe they thought about it recently, they was just thinking about investing in a flipping Peloton, and I'm getting a flashback of what happened with my first actual call. That a couple of calls when I was calling my network to hit that 12.5k mark. But anyway, um, that's the two options that you're gonna find when you call these people. Okay, if it's the first option and they're fine, absolutely brilliant, well done, big up yourself. Let's have a workout one of these days. And then the other option is that you're struggling, and then that's where you go, boom, I have found a lead. Now, with this lead, what most coaches will do is they will go upon themselves, they'll show their desperation and say, oh, great, oh, look, I can help you out, mate. I've got this online. Relax yourself. Yeah. You're not selling your program on that phone call. You are selling the idea of a call. All right. And this is a sales call that lasts between 45 minutes to an hour. All right. And the whole purpose of a sales call is that with a sales call, you get to see someone's emotion, you get to dig out emotion, dig out pain, because when you dig out pain, people pay. All right. Without pain, people don't pay. Okay. So you need to find what is like harmful, what is hurting you about your current situation that would make you want to make a decision and make a change about your current situation. So that's what you get to unravel on a sales call, and that's why we push people to sales calls. You don't sell through a message on DM. You don't sell through a phone call. And I get some coaches that are like, oh, they find it cringy, and some say, oh yeah, I'd rather do the calls and all of that. But listen, if you truly care about somebody, if I care about, for example, my family members, right, a member of my family, yeah, I can call them, I can text them, I can do all of that. But do I not want to see them every so often? Of course I want to see them, right? Because so same way, if I want to embark on a mission with this person for 3 6 months, and I want to really help them get in amazing shape, and I actually care. I'm not just this other these other coaches who just dish them some Word document plan or just subscribe them to an app. If I'm a coach that really cares, then why would I not want to take extra time to jump on a Zoom call, find out a lot more about them, ask them deeper questions? That is part of me being able to sell a higher price, but it's also part of me actually caring and giving a fuck. Cool. So there you go. So with this, so if you say 30 people, these are 30 strong leads I found. I'll probably convert, I don't know, let's say even if I converted 10%, right? 10% onto a call. We'll say 20. These are people that know, like, and trust you. So out of the bigger number, you might convert about 20% of these onto calls. Okay, so that would be 6 people. Out of 6, I will probably sell 40% average closing rate. So like let's say 2. Yeah, that's 2 sales at that. Okay, so now I've already made £2,000. So excuse me if this is messy. I don't really give a toss. Now, what we would teach you before and what we would do before is end there, right? So that's it. You've sold that. Now we need to move on to the next strategy. But what I would do now is actually, out of these 30 and out of these 6, that's 24 people. Is it 24 plus another 4? So that's 28 people. I'm gonna wipe this off soon, so it's a bit more clean. But that's 28 people that didn't buy. All right. So out of that 24 people that didn't buy, probably I will say about 50% of them will just be scared of the price. Okay. I'll say about 50% of them will be scared of the price. 50% of them are not leads for my high ticket program, but they are leads in general. Okay. They do have a lead, because remember, that's the reason we call them in the first place. Okay. So what would I do with that, Michael, is what you're asking me. Yeah. Michael, what would you do with those leads? I'm going to tell you what I'll do with those leads. because we're not going to do what I used to do and what we used to do when we first started, because it's what we were taught, and rightly so. And the reason we were taught that, and that's why we what we did, is because back then there wasn't AI. Back then there wasn't a plethora of VAs and all these systems to make your life a lot easier to outsource and basically manage your time a bit better. So you were split, you were one person, so you couldn't really do too much, all right? You wouldn't want to dilute your time and your program with a low ticket version, which is what I'm going to talk about. But times are different now. So you sold your 2 at 1,000. Yeah, we had 30 leads at the beginning. We funneled that down to 6 calls, and those 6 turns to 2 leads. 50% of these were actually still leads. That's 15 people, and we're going to sell them at a program that is between 50 to £100. All right, we're going to say the average of that is 75, and if we times that, so 10 750, and another one is 325, so that is going to give us 1,075. All right, it all counts. Okay, so that's £3,075 that we've now achieved. All right, meaning we've got about 7K more to make. Okay, so from here, I'm going to, I've got clients, I'm happy with that. Now I may not have should have robbed this all out, but it doesn't matter. These were the 30 people out of my friends and family who were actually leads, right? I just believed could use my help. And that's what we funneled it down to. But that's not all my contacts. All my contacts is probably about 100. I probably have about 100. And well, not me personally. I'll probably have more closer to like 300. Yeah, but on average, no one would have less than about 100 people. So this is 70 other people, 270 to 270 people. And what we're going to do, because we can still use these people, this is the ones that you actually message. All right, because people would, when you hear about network, what people do is, because they're scared, they go straight and they start messaging everybody, and that's all they do. That's not how you do it. I just shown you firstly who you're gonna call. Now the people that you're gonna message are going to be all the other people, and you're going to do a simple scripted message. Just goes something like, hey, how you doing? I've recently created a new program, whatever. I was just wondering if you know anyone who needs help, and I'll be happy to give them a free trial. Okay, now why did I say a free trial off the top of my dome? I have a marketing brain. That's why, a lot of gurus and people will teach you stuff, and they'll just assume that, yeah, everybody is just gonna buy your shit because that's just how it works. And they're just making it easy for them to teach you it. All right, just do that, and look, 5 out of 10 people it will work for. When you just say, oh, I need help. Sorry, so do you know anyone that needs help? That's great. Yes, like that might get you 5 responses. But if you add the free trial element, now this person isn't just going to bug their friends, or has this awkward way of, or has to have this awkward exchange with some of their friends to see if they need help with getting rid of fat. Now this person has like a voucher or a coupon to go and take to their friends and say, hey, hope you're good. I know you told me that you was on this fitness journey. I know this coach, and they've told me that they've actually got a 14-day free trial of blah 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 blah. So now that's gonna do the flipping work for you. But guess what? Like, people are so scared of giving away stuff for free and all this shit. Like, listen, what is your real reason? Just these made up fantasies of, oh, people who don't like free stuff, and that, like, forget all of that shit, right? People do free stuff all the time. You sign up for free trials all the time. Like, I'm sure maybe before I pay for Spotify, I would have had a Spotify trial. There's a lot of softwares we use that we had a free trial first. So don't believe all that crap, right? So 14 day, the beauty of the 14 days, that still gives me 15 days out of my 30 days. All right. So if I get out of my 300, let's say 20% come back and they find me someone, or them themselves are interested, right? Then my 300, that's going to give me 60 people. Okay. 60 people are going to go on a 14-day trial. Now I've got like the fun experiment of having a fully packed up coaching program, which is crazy right now. So what I would probably do is I would vet these 60 people. They have to be qualified in some way. It can't be someone that doesn't generally have the price to pay for the real package. Like, that's how I would basically see it. And if they don't, then I would funnel them again into the low ticket program, okay, which is basically hands off. We've got videos on low ticket. So Cool. I've done my 60. I've got the giveaway for it, whatever. I've got 60 people. When I funneled it out, maybe I've only got like 30 people as well. Now they're all gonna do the 14-day free trial, and guess what? Probably 30% of them will actually stay on. Okay, 30% of them will stay on. So 30, that's 9 people. All right. So now that's 9 people into my £1,000 program, but maybe I don't sell all of them for 1,000 on the dot. Maybe I've got an average order value, because that means what your mix of different prices can like adds up to, of 500. All right, so 10, so that's 4,500 essentially. Okay, 4,500 from that. All right, so you got 4,500 plus that, so now we're at 7,575. Okay, I would literally go hard, and this is all stuff that I could do in a day. I haven't even really done anything crazy. I'll do it in a day. Now let's backtrack a little bit. All right, let me check how long I'm spending. 16 minutes, not bad, not too bad at all. Okay, so let's backtrack to be able to do everything I'm listing out now, because just want to make sure everything's good. Yeah, Mike's on. A lot of you are gonna look at this and gonna think, yeah, that's fucking great, Michael, but oh, well, in fact, you won't even say that. You say, this is great, this is good, this is actually really good information, but you won't do it. You won't do it. And the reason you won't do it is because there's not enough pain, there's not enough discomfort causing you to do it. When I did it, there was fucking discomfort, all right? When I went from 2K, around 2 to 3K per month, to 10K, 12.5K a month, and I'll tell the story about it properly. There was pain there, because yes, I was making 2.5 to 3K a month, but fully online. But I had left the gym floor where I was obviously making like that amount anyway. So my bills was higher than they should be or whatever. So maybe I'm being left with, okay, I've got a girlfriend at the time, like, so you know what I mean, like I'm spending more, and I'm used to spending more. And let's just say like my money management wasn't good at the time as well, so I didn't really have much. So at the end of the day, when I actually signed up for the mentor that taught me all this stuff, I handed over like my last 500 that I had saved at the moment. Obviously, I knew I had money coming in, but the last 500, or most of the money I had saved at the moment, I handed over to them. So the pain and the discomfort of that made me like on job, and also the experience of working with that mentor, because I didn't want to hand over that money, right? I didn't want to hand over, but he said some real stuff that just kind of mirrored myself to me. And he's talking about self-belief, and like, do you not back yourself to put in the work and do what I'm saying? Because it was a guarantee as well. It was like he was gonna give the money back if I did what he told me to do and didn't get the results. So it's like it was just a great incubator and a great environment for me to just say, I have to fucking do all of this. I say all that to say that most of you are just gonna watch this and you're not gonna fucking do any of it. And I'm teaching you literally how to make £10,000 in 30 days. Well, most of you ain't gonna do that shit. So how do we fix that? How do we make it so that you do it? It's very easy. You just put yourself in an environment, in a situation where you have to fucking do it. And contrary to what most people think, I know here people talk about things like evil eye, and telling people your plans and all of that. But if you tell the right people your plans, if you make it known in the right place, right, and in the right way, it does give you an extra bit of accountability. Okay, if you put it on Instagram, where you tell, you got to do it boldly though. If you do it like that, that does help. That's one way. You can also make a bet. You can also hand over some money. So let's say you are scared to invest in a mentor. You can take the money, that the same amount that a mentor is asking for, and you can give it to somebody in your family that you trust and say, all right, take, that's 500 quid, that's 1,000 quid. And if I don't do everything at least in this video, then you take 20% of it. So you take £200 off me, only give me about 800. Does that make sense, right? And if I do it right, then you give me £1,000. So now you've got your money to protect. I don't care what the fuck you do. You can even just go for a mentor, and then you've got even more resources and ways of making this £10,000. But do something, or this shit ain't gonna mean nothing to you. It's gonna be, just fucking dog shit. Excuse my language. So anyway, so we're on about 7K, 7.5, give or take. Like some of these things might not have happened, but if you with enough vim, with enough aggression, and just really going for it, they will. Let me just sort this out. So how do we get the last 3K? How do we get the last 3K? Well, it's very easy, very simple. We just need leads, right? So there's about 2.5K left that we need to earn. We just need leads. Now, how do we get these leads? Now, there's two ways around this. Two flipping ways around it. So one would be that you already have like a half decent following, all right? And when I say half decent, I'm not talking about like thousands of followers or any of that shit. I'm talking literally you got a couple hundred to 1,000 people. Yeah, if you've got a couple hundred to 1,000 people, you've been posting on Instagram, then there's an approach we can take. If you don't, then I'll have to think of something different. If you do have 1,000 people on Instagram, 500 to 500 people to 2,000, let's say, then what I would do is a giveaway. And I spoke about this before. I'm going to make a video on it, but I'll do a giveaway post, all right? And this is basically where you just make a post on Instagram and you say, what do you say? You say fucking, you know, £3,000 or something like that, online coaching giveaway. All right. And essentially, you give away about 3 to 5 spots, depending on how busy you are now, because we've been giving away a few bits. 3 to 5 spots and 30 days of online coaching. All right. And you describe exactly what they're gonna get, how they're gonna get all of that stuff, right? They're gonna use your app, they're gonna use all of these things. So you describe that and you put it out there, okay? And what you do is you don't just put it out there once. You're gonna make videos on it. You're gonna do whatever, and then you tell them they have to comment below if they want to get involved. The reason you say comment below is because that does a lot better on Instagram. You can say comment below or DM you as well. Um, and then you say for a bonus entry, all you got to do is DM me the reason why. Okay. So if you've got 500 to 2,000 people and you've been half decent online, then all you would do is essentially, you would get between 10 to, I'll say what we've seen, because we've got a lot of coaches doing this, to like 40 people. Okay. You get between 10 to 40 people. Now you got 10 to 40 people. You're only giving away 3 slots. Do the maths. What does that mean? That means you would have 7 to 37 people who are not going to win this free coaching, but they are leads. Okay, so what do? You go and reach out to every single one of them. You tell them that you didn't win. I'm sorry, but you are a runner up, and I have a special offer for you. Can I just ask you what your goals are to see if you qualify? If they haven't already DM'd you their reason why. Okay, and then again, you're not going to sell them that program in the DMs because otherwise you're not going to get jack squat. What you're going to do is sell them the idea of a call. Okay, you're going to sell them the idea of a call. Now, you'll probably get about 30% because a lot of them will be freeloaders. All right, 30% of them to actually convert or jump on the calls, even. So that will be around you're going to look at between 2 to, and me, because I'm a hard worker, so I would already have these. I'm not even gonna. I might not even do the other side, but we'll see. See how it goes. No, we're not gonna do the other side because fuck all of that. You should have an Instagram. If you don't, go fucking start an Instagram at least, man. You know, what are you playing at? So, 2 to, let's say what would be the other 30%, 2 to 15 people on calls, and then we just do the maths again. We've got 15 people on calls. We're gonna close about 40% of them. Okay, so that would be about 1 to what's the word, 40% of that, 7 6 is about 5 people. Okay, so 1 to 5 people. I'm going to be on a higher end because I actually do the work, and I have actually would have had followers at least 500 1,000. I do the work, so that's going to give me my 3K. Okay, that's going to give me my remaining 3K. Okay, this is how I would get to 10K in 30 days. This would probably be able to be achieved within like 15 to 20 days, really and truly. But actually, if you space out all the free trials and the calls, because people ain't going to jump on a call like right there and then, they're going to have to book it in 2 3 days in advance, whatever. That's how we do it. If you have any questions about how, like, little parts that I've mentioned in this, then just comment below. I'm trying to think of any other context to give you. No, 30K days. I was gonna say something else, but yeah, that's it, man. Okay, no, that's what I was gonna say. So the reason this sounds so simple, like dangerously simple, like it can't be that simple. That's how it sounds like that, but it is. And the reason it is so simple is because you have less things to do. Okay, when you actually start a business and you have all these clients relying on you, and you have these systems running, and maybe you've got employees, it's actually harder to make money fast. That's why a lot of business and us business people are very confident, because we know how much things we have to manage that we can't now. I can't, as a one person now, put in all my energy in making that system work and doing these calls and reaching out to people in a message, because I have business to run. I have clients to deal with, and I only have so much energy that I can apply. All right. So I have to get other people to do it, I have to manage it, and I have to do what I can do. Okay. But you, where you just do your PT, you just have your full-time job or whatever it is, you can apply all the free time in regards to this business on doing this. Okay. Now, it probably would it help to have some systems first and all of this stuff for your online coaching, make your product better. I think 1,000 is still a great price for someone if you're gonna get them a result, even if you fucking did it on a Word document. So I don't think it's the end of the world. And I think it's okay for the systems to break a little bit as long as you keep things simple and make sure people are getting results. That's the main thing. Make sure people are getting results, make sure they're happy, make sure if you got a, what did we do? It probably worked out to like 20, 30 clients, or less than that, maybe 10, 15 clients. If you got to send emails manually, who the fuck cares? It's not the end of the world, right? Just get people in, learn on the go. And even if you don't do 10K the first month, you would at least do 5K with this model that I've just shown you, all right? You ain't got to pay me a penny for this video. So that's me, I'm out.